Hey YouTube world, I am back with another video. Today we are continuing my Paris journey. You know what? Our Paris journey, okay? You guys have been with me every step of the way since I went to Paris over a month ago. Yes, there's a whole entire backup of videos right now, but I got a lot of great content and you're gonna love this one too. You all told me that you really love the interview I did with the president and CEO of Atelier Auguste. This is going to be really similar, where we're going to do a deep dive of this indie brand RSVP, which I featured on my channel before, but it's going to be a Q&A. And then of course I have a new bag to show you. So definitely stay tuned for the unboxing as well as a lot of mod shots. So let's just get right into it. RSVP did send me this bag, the Munchkin bag in the mock croc with navy and gold hardware. Beautiful bag. If you wanted to see a full review or more of a review on that particular bag, I'll make sure to link the video down below and above for you. But I was so impressed with this particular brand's quality that I wanted to do a deeper dive on their brand and the story behind it, right? I've said this many times for those of you who have been with me for a while, that I love learning the stories about indie brands. You know, we know the stories of the big conglomerates and the history of Louis Vuitton, Hermes, etc., etc. A lot of these indie brands have really good stories to tell and they're super underrated. So I just wanted to, you know, drive some awareness as well as appreciation to these small indie brands that are making fantastic quality items. So this is the first bag that I have from RSVP. I was able to swing by the RSVP store while I was in Paris about a month and a half ago now, and it is everything you expect a small boutique Parisian store to look like. Super cute, super quaint, very intimate, and it was just a lovely experience. I will throw up a bunch of mod shots as I'm talking here, just because I was able to try on all of the different models and it was just a fun experience. I wasn't there for very long. And of course I didn't tell them exactly what time I was showing up. They were like, oh, you're here. We knew you were coming today, but we had no idea what time, right? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do an interview just because of the timing, but I was able to ask all of the questions to share with you all. The first question is, what did the founders do before starting RSVP? What is their background? Aurore is a trained stylist graduate from Chamber, I'm not even going to pronounce this, but I'll insert on the screen here, and has accumulated 10 plus years of experience in the industry working for the likes of Dice, Kayak, Lucien, Pelham, Finnet. Okay, butchering all of that, but these supposedly are famous brands in France, I believe, and before co-founding RSVP. Thomas comes from a family of makers and craftsmen. His father or grandfather was a tailor and his great-grandfather was a cobbler. He founded the company at 27 years old. I'm just thinking about that in 27 years old. What was I doing at 27 years old? We're going out to the bars, not starting a whole entire business and brand. Him and Aurore are married and have a 3-year-old son. So that's super cute. Husband and wife company. I love that. Question number 2 I asked them is, why do you only produce 500 pieces of each particular, model and particular leathers? Why not 1,000? Why not 2,000? We like to think of our editions as invitations to a party, hence our name. Oh, that's a very awesome story. And like to keep things exclusive, which is, again, I think we buy luxury, we buy certain pieces and add it to our collection to, one, kind of express our fashion sense, our personality, and in a world of all of the people out there, we want to look exclusive to ourselves, pick certain pieces that not just everybody else down the street has. So I think that really resonates with a lot of us. In the art world, lithographies are also often issued in this quantity, which is an inspiration for us from the get-go. Well, yeah, I love that answer. Number 3, how do you pick your leathers? Of course, I want to get down to the nitty-gritty, like why do you pick certain leathers over another and then only produce 500? I came up with a whole entire scenario of like, oh, well, it's better for quality control. Completely not the case. That was just my speculation. We work with 3 tanneries in France, Italy, and Spain. We have known them for more than 10 years and develop our own colors with them in specific exclusive references. We attach the utmost importance to sustainability and quality so that we make sure they operate as a state-of-art facilities in terms of water use, chemical recycling, and hide sourcing. The 3 aforementioned tanneries are more than 70 years old and have gained a worldwide reputation for quality by working or sometimes belonging to big names in the luxury industry. The next question I asked them is, what is mineral tanning? Because in my first video on RSVP, I was reading up on them. We're all familiar with chrome tanning. We're all familiar with vegetable tan leather tanning. However, I wasn't familiar with mineral tanning, or at least that terminology. So their explanation is there are two main tanning methods for leather and mineral, using chemicals and vegetable tan leather, which is an organic way of tanning the leather. So I think what they're saying is that mineral and chemical / chrome is kind of interchangeable. We use both as they have different properties, but mostly use mineral tanning while making sure that all treatment systems of the tannery is as low impact as possible on the environment. Most of the tanneries we work with have an LWG certification. Also keep in mind that the hides are always a byproduct of the meat industry or food industry. They never use animals that are raised specifically for leather goods. The next question is in regards to their hardware, because I've noticed that their hardware is extremely gorgeous, so I wanted to learn more about that. How is your hardware different from other companies? We use stainless steel PVD plating, which means that the metal is infused with gold at its core to prevent it from oxidizing, as opposed to just like coating it, I guess, fading and flaking over time. For your information, the most common material for leather goods is Zamac, which is a lighter, easier to produce, cheaper, but also more fragile and tend to lose its color faster. I would say this is probably one of the higher quality hardware I've seen in most indie brands, and I've seen a lot, as you can see. That's why I feel like the hardware on the Munchkin bag is beautiful, it's shiny. I was a little apprehensive about this particular gold where it's pretty flat and smooth, that it would get a lot of scratches. But after many uses, it hasn't made any scratches, not even hairline scratches. For them to explain that, it helps me understand a little bit more as a consumer. The last question I asked them is, do you want to stay a niche brand, or do you want to be a mainstream brand like LV in the future? As a family-owned brand, we like to grow step by step. We also believe that quality is a long process, and we understand growing a brand is a long-term game. We like to favor timeless styles over trends and hope that the community feeling with which the brand was founded will remain a core value of the company and our clients for as long as possible. So they're in it for the long haul. I think that a lot of companies, not just in the luxury or handbag world, but any industry, growing too fast, growing too big, there's a lot of different hiccups. We saw that at Pollen, right? Pollen was an excellent company and they blew up on social media. Hence their production has just been cranked up. And in my opinion, they just grew too big too fast. And what happens with that? Quality control, which is why we're seeing a lot of issues with Pollen's quality control. With the new stake of Louis Vuitton in Pollen, maybe that will change, maybe that won't change, but who knows? And I think customer service is pretty terrible from what I hear from Pollen, but let's not talk about Pollen. But what my point is that RSVP has a specific goal in mind where process and longevity is or quality control and longevity is much more important to them than making a quick buck. So that was a really cool experience for me to be able to stop by the store and of course ask these questions and for them to come back with really beautiful answers that help us appreciate these indie brands and the mom and pop shops. But I blew in the store, took about a bunch shots, and the lady that was working there was just like, okay, yeah, I know you got to run super quickly. You got an appointment to get to. So she literally, I was like a tornado in the store there trying to get every single bag and trying it on for you all to see. And if you are enjoying this kind of content, do hit that like and subscribe button for me. If you haven't done so already, let me know down in the comment section that you do enjoy this kind of format, and if you want to see me do more of it, of course, if I ever get to go to Paris or any other country that has all of these indie brands, just drop a comment down below. Let me know where your thoughts are. And of course, if you are new to my channel, drop a comment anyways, say hi, let me know you're new here, and let me welcome you to my channel. Okay, let's get into the unboxing here. As you can see, it comes in a beautiful white box that says RSVP on there. And it comes pretty simple in a nice dust bag, very similar to when I unboxed the Munchkin from before. And by the way, with this Munchkin, I wore this to my local consignment shop and the owner was just like, Immediately I walked in, he like, what is that bag? It is gorgeous. And he is a lover of luxury, right? So for him to be like, you know, surrounded by Chanel's, Hermes, and like Fendi all day, for him to have this bag catch his attention, it says a lot. He's like, I love the design, yada yada. So that just tells you something's, you know, beautiful always catches the eyes of people who appreciate luxury, even outside of the big conglomerates like Louis Vuitton, etc. So the latest addition is going to be the dual bag. This is going to be in the gold hardware in Dolce, which also means gold. Yeah, gold. I think it's gold, but to me, this is gold on gold. And this is going to be in the smooth skin leather. This is going to be a much bigger bag. I'll do a side-by-side comparison in a second here. And of course, you can see how beautiful it is. I'm smelling the bag. It's like in front of my face, and it just smells like rich leather. Rich leather? Is there poor leather? All right, yes, rich leather. And you can see how beautiful the back is and the sides. It's an accordion style, so there's 2 compartments in there. And then on the side, I got to peel off the stickers here, but this is where the crossbody strap is going to be. And you can see the detail of RSVP right there as well. On the bottom here, it's just RSVP engraved, well, embossed on the bottom there. So that's a really cool, fun detail. And then the interior, of course, you've got the built-in magnets, which is, again, in my opinion, the most seamless thing you can do to a bag. And then the interior is just going to be 2 different compartments with a middle compartment where it's a little bit smaller, where you can put cards or anything valuable. It also comes with, it's a little bit hard to see. However, there are 6 different credit card slots and then a slip compartment here as well. So very simple, very straightforward kind of design. And then you can see the strap, which is adjustable. And then this is how you hook it on, which I love this because it is a very special and unique design for it to be on the side of the bag, as opposed to like the interior of the bag or on top of the bag. I think it's completely unique and a very smart design. They also thought to kind of have it protrude a little bit, not too much, so that the strap doesn't end up rubbing on the sides. If you see like the Chanel's or other bags where the strap actually goes through on the interior and then it ends up rubbing on the side as you're wearing it as a shoulder bag or a crossbody, and you can see a little bit more wear and tear. Now, obviously I can't speak to the wear and tear just because this is a brand new bag, but I'll keep you updated. But thinking of the design like this, I think that could help prevent the wear and tear on the side of the bag. And true to their story of only producing 500 of this, you know, particular leather and model, I got number 88. And in Asian culture, 8 or 8 in number is a lucky number. So hopefully 2025 is going to be a lucky year for me. This must be a sign. So I love how I got number 88. And just to do a quick comparison, I know I talked a little bit about the mock croc, how the gold numbers on this bag wasn't fully done as beautifully as this one, but again, I think it's just the nature of the different texture that the mock croc has, whereas this one, you can see it is perfectly done and it's beautiful. So you can use this bag as a shoulder bag, you can use this bag as a crossbody bag. It is much bigger in terms of thickness, so you definitely can fit a lot more. This video, like every other video of mine, is getting way too long, so I wanted to save that for an update. I'll probably do a video with all of my latest bag additions, the wear and tear functionality, just to do a more in-depth review coming in 2025. So do stay tuned for that, but you can see the difference in terms of the size. This one can fit so much already. It's impressive how much you can fit. So you definitely can fit a little bit more in this jewel bag if you want to. The glazing on this particular bag is immaculate. There is not a single flaw that I can pick apart. The stitching, same thing, can't pick apart. I was a little nervous about picking up the smooth or choosing the smooth leather, so I'll let you know how the wear and tear goes for that. So I really hope you enjoy this kind of content here where you get a more of an insight to the brand, the indie brand themselves, and maybe it resonates with you because at the end of the day, these mom and pop shops are just human like the rest of us. Thanks RSVP for sending this bag and of course being so flexible and working with me on this particular style video as I show off my creativity. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see you all next time.